coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. You know what time it is. I appreciate the support. Ooh, I done knocked the camera down. Bad man. Big love, man. Everybody out there who support the platform. Everybody out there who roll with TBP Nation. Man, we on the grind. We back at it. We back at it again. We cannot stop. We will not stop. There are people out there who need this, and we are the people to give it to them. So that's what we doing. Big love to everybody who support me. Big love to everybody who rocks with this platform, this movement. Remember, this is not a moment. It is a movement. Get with it or get out of the way. And we ain't got no bones about it. We ain't got no bones about it. But anybody who's out there who's trying to, motivate, elevate, stimulate these young minds, man, get on board, get on the train. Let's go. Let's get it. We're going to push this message out here each and every day in hopes that somebody get it and somebody understand it. With that being said, man, TBP Nation, stand up, salute. We out here. Love. Oh, man. This subject right here, it's just so many people keep asking me about it, so I'm just going to give my opinion on it, with somewhat. I'm just going to speak on the aspect of doing time, you know what I'm saying, having to do time, and in which case we're talking about, Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, Brother Love, Diddy, or whatever you want to call him. People want to know what do I think. They keep asking me in the chats and in the comments and stuff, or how I think Diddy gonna be, or do I think Diddy gonna survive, or this, that, or the third. And I can't really answer that because each man has to be their own man. Each man is different, and I tell y'all a lot of times, you never know what's in you until it's brought out of you. You never know what you can do until you have to do it. But in my humble opinion, from just my aspect of living life and doing time, doing 33 years, 12,065 plus days, to look at a person like P. Diddy, to look at his life from afar, from, on the screen and movies and TV or videos or whatever the case may be, listen to his music. From what I know about P. Diddy, man, the real stuff, not all it's just the tomfoolery or whatever, is he done lived a extravagant life, for a long time, for the most part, probably 30 years plus. So, with that being said, to be able to live the way he has lived for 30 years plus, to be a boss, to be able to call shots, to be able to eat what you want, to be able to go where you want, to drive what you want, wear what you want, do what you want, call your own shots and answer to nobody. Penitentiary in itself is hard, man. I'm telling y'all, I done told y'all many, many times, it's a very, very difficult situation to get through. Even if you remove all of the other stuff, if you got beef and valor, just doing time, being separated from everything and everybody you love, that alone takes a mental fortitude to be able to deal with. So when you take that and combine that with somebody who has lived the type of life he's lived, and the luxuries and the all of the things he's been able to do and see and have, man, that's gonna be 10 times as harder. 10 times as harder. I heard, don't know if it's true or not, that he's not really eating in there because the food is, horrible. And then the crazy part about it is, every time a celebrity or somebody like that get locked up, it comes out about how bad the food is, how bad the conditions is, how bad the sales is, how bad the living, the officers, the you know what I'm saying, that everything, it comes out when a celebrity is locked up. But people don't pay attention that you have regular people who've been locked up for centuries, decades, whatever the case may be, and this is not really publicized like that. It's not really talked about like that. It's only talked about when it's a celebrity, So That's a issue within itself. But just from the outside looking in, knowing that I've been on the inside looking out, I can't really. I was amazed. I'm being honest with you. I was amazed when Bill Cosby got locked up and had to do that time. When O.J. Simpson got locked up and had to do that time. In my mind, when both of them got locked up, if I'm not mistaken, I was in prison. In my mind, going through what I was going through, seeing what I was seeing, dealing with what I was dealing with, thus far, all this time, and knowing the things that I had to go through and endure, I was saying, man, there's no way them dudes can do time. There's no way. I was really thinking that one of them dudes, sad as it may sound, I was thinking one of them may check out because the living was be too hard for them after coming from this to that. You know. Now I know those dudes may get a little. It depends on where you at. They may get a little, special treatment or whatever. But even with that, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna supplement from what you missing because you still in a cage. You still in a cell. It ain't like they gonna get some extra big old room or some trays brought to them on a silver platter. That ain't gonna happen. I don't care where you at. You understand? You still gonna have to lock up in a cell every day. You still gonna have to be counted and accounted for doing count. You still gonna have to use the phone at certain times. You still gonna not be able to reach out and touch your people and hug your people, and you still not gonna be able to go places that you used to going. You not gonna lay on those silk sheets. You not gonna lay on those satin sheets. That's not gonna happen. No matter how powerful or how rich you are, that's not gonna happen in prison. You understand? So that transition alone is a huge fall from grace, man. So I don't know, man. I couldn't see them doing it, but then again, like I say, I'm just a human being. It's just my opinion, but they did it. O.J. Simpson did this time. Can't remember exactly how much he did, but I think he did like 8, 9 years or something. Bill Cosby did this time. I did not expect both of them to endure that, but they did. So I can't say if Diddy will or won't. But just knowing Diddy being younger than those guys, um, you know, I was, lived a probably more extravagant life than them. I would say that too. Man, it's gonna be hard for him, man. It's hard. It's hard, man. And from what we know of Diddy, Diddy had an ego, man, where he felt like he was a boss. You not no boss up in there. Nah, the boss is the system. The boss is the system. So it's hard, man. I don't know, And we heard a lot of things about R. Kelly, and R. Kelly was big, but he wasn't as big as Diddy. But R. Kelly done had issues in there. They done, he done been in physical altercations, to my understanding. He done been, you know, you know, assaulted and different things that happened to him in there. So, but he alive. He ain't in himself. So I don't know. I can't say what Diddy gonna do. I don't know. I just do know it's going to be very, very difficult, man, for him to deal with uh, the type of stuff he going to have to deal with coming from the life that he came from. That's just difficult, man, to be able to get your food brought to you cold, which his lawyers and stuff is complaining about now, to go from eating steak and lobster and shrimp or fettuccine or whatever the rich people eat to eating bologna and squash and rotten fruit and bulk meat. uh, yeah, man. I don't even know if his body would even take to that, you know, because you eat a certain way and then you start ingesting other stuff, you're gonna automatically get sick no matter who you are. So he would have to go through a whole transition, man, as far as like, his eating habits, his living habit, everything. His whole life is just upside down. You know what I'm saying? From the top of the top to the bottom of the bottom. How do somebody deal with that mentally? Only a person that has to deal with it can answer that. Because like I say, mentally you have to worry about too. Everything that we think about prison, we always think from the outside looking in, we think it's physical, who the strongest, who the meanest, who the most violent, who the most ruthless. but it's a mental game as well, because if your mind is not prepared to deal with the things you have to deal with, no matter what they are, you're going to collapse. You're going to collapse. So how strong is his mind? How strong is his mental? How much do he want to survive? Do he have the will to survive? Do he have the will to endure what he's going to have to endure? And they're talking about a minimum. With the cases he got, they say it's a mandatory minimum of 15 years. That means at the least he can get is 15 years. You understand? To do 15 years at 50 plus, and you've been living the plush life for 30 plus years, man, that's a hard task right there, man. That's a hard task. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of them even had to do 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Bill Cosby had to do 15 years. O.J. Simpson ain't had to do 15. You talking about 15 years to be able to sink that in your brain mentally. I got to be in here in these conditions for 15 years. How do he mentally even program that? That's something it's mind blowing. Just like when they gave me my time, they talking about life sentence, life. What is that? How you do 2 lives? I ain't got but 1 life. How do I do that? So it's mental first, physical second. Because you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to defend yourself. You're going to have to make your presence known. You're going to have to do that to keep away some of the tomfoolery, the skullduggery, and the larceny that's going to come at you. You're going to have to do something. And even, I know y'all thinking, well, he got money. He can pay people. Yeah, you got to do that. But you're going to have to continue to pay. He got enough to continue to pay. But then you're going to have to worry about who beefing about who going to get that money. The dude you paying may not be the dude for the job. It may be somebody better than him. He may be paying somebody else. You understand? So it's a lot of dynamics that goes with doing this time and being able to function in prison. But like I say, you're gonna have to first conquer the mental, what I'm saying, the mental battle. Am I prepared to do this? Am I prepared to even proceed forward? Like, I gotta make it. I'm gonna make it through this. You gotta conquer that first. If you don't conquer that first, everything else is gonna collapse. You understand? Because like I say, all the other things are given. The physical coming. People gonna lean on you. People gonna try to extort you. People gonna try to fight you. People may try to do something strange to you from the things that they've heard in the media. All of this is a part of that. So to be able to get yourself mentally ready to deal with that, and to be able to say you have the will enough to want to live and survive this process to get back out, man, that's hard right there alone, Joe. That's hard, man. That's hard. That's real hard. That's why you got people in prison that, sadly enough, they commit suicide, because they cannot function mentally to say, I'm going to live like this until I get out. I'm going to endure this until I get out. I'm going to make it through this because I can get out. A lot of people can't deal with that when they see what it is that they're talking about. It's one thing to hear about it, but to be in it, to be in the thick of it, to see this dude over here getting stabbed repeatedly, to see this dude getting thrown off the tier, to see this dude getting dragged into the cell and God knows what happening to him. When you seeing all of this right around you and you're saying to yourself, that's when your fortitude come out. That's when your character come out. That's when your will to survive comes out, or either it folds. It folds because you say, I cannot deal with that. And a lot of people say they can't. So you're talking about a person that's been living a good life for the majority of his life. Now to be living worse than he was living before he was even famous. This is beneath what he was before he became known. Before he became known, he still was coming from a decent family. He still was going to college. He was able to afford it to go to college. He was still doing regular. This is beneath that, way beneath that. So to elevate from that regular status to superstar status, only to come down back below the status that you started from, even a step under that, man, that's hard, man. That's hard on any man. That's hard on any human, let alone a Diddy or anybody else. That's hard. You know what I'm saying? And then he's so far removed from his regular status before he was superstar. He's so far removed from that. He's 40 some years removed from that. So to go beneath that, his mental is going to have to be even stronger than you can imagine, just to set his sights on getting through what he got to get through. And we're not going to know that until the end of the trial or something, until he gets sentenced, until he know that he really got to do some time. We're not going to know that. We're not going to know that. Because right now, in his mind, with his position and with his power, with his knowledge, with his vast information that they say he got, he probably right now processing all of that. But he also feeling like that maybe he got an out. Maybe he ain't got to have to do no whole lot of time. But I'm telling you, when you got a mandatory minimum, meaning they saying mandatory minimum, meaning if convicted, he at least got to do 15 years. 15 years to a man like that is a death sentence. That's a death sentence. You talking about 50, you talking about what? 65 years old, 66, 67, 68, almost 70 years old. Can y'all even imagine what a 70-year-old Diddy look like? Can Diddy imagine what a 70-year-old Diddy look like? You see what I'm saying? So, man, this is a real situation right here that he dealing with. A lot of people in the media, a lot of people, on the podcasts and blogs and tweets and posts is making light of it, but it's a real life. This is real life situation. And I'm not here to judge him to say, oh, he did this or he did that or he deserved this or he deserved that. Don't nobody know none of that stuff, man. Don't nobody know that stuff. Don't nobody know what nobody deserves. And who is you and who is me to say what somebody deserves? You have, in order for you to be able to make those type of judgments, you have to know everything. You have to know the ins, the outs. You have to know the mindset. You have to know the who is with this, who won't with this. You have to know all. We will never know that. So it ain't for us to judge. When people go to court, they go through there and people assume this and assume that and try to put this piece with that piece and say this is what must happen. If they won't there, they never know. So whenever they say people need to be convicted with beyond the shadow of a reasonable doubt, it is always a reasonable doubt because you won't there. You don't know. You try to put things together. But in any event, you still get convicted. You still get convicted. When they say you have to be proven guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt, a reasonable doubt is always a reasonable doubt. There's always a reasonable doubt if you have people speaking that was not there. If you have people that speaking who was there, you're going to have one against the other. So who do you believe? They almost always believe the person is the victim who's making the claim. But what if they have an agenda? So that's a reasonable doubt right there. But people get convicted on this every day and sentenced to the rest of their life. You understand? So I don't put myself in a position to feel like, oh, I could say this person wrong, that person wrong, they judge this person unless I actually see what happened. If I didn't actually see what happened, I know for a fact that I do not know what happened. No matter what's posted, no matter what's charged, no matter what's written, no matter what's said, I don't know. And I don't try to be no judge of that. I got other things to worry about, other things I'm trying to do, other things I'm trying to achieve. But I could just look at the situation the way I'm looking at it, saying it's a hard situation. It's a hard situation. And I'm saying that whatever type of will that he has to live, whatever type of will he has to survive, whatever type of character that's really in him, this process right here gonna bring it out. So, we're gonna see. We all watching, we all listening, we all trying to figure it out. But when y'all keep asking me to speak on it, I'm telling you, I cannot tell you what another man would do. Because the truth of the matter is, I didn't know what I was gonna do until I was in it. I didn't know I could make it until I made it. I didn't even know if I get to the end, to the finish line, until I did it. Because that's just how much goes on in the penitentiary. That's just how uncertain each day is in the penitentiary. You don't know what's going to happen from moment to moment, not minute to minute, from moment to moment. You do not know what's going to happen in prison, man. You don't. Because when you get relaxed, when you get comfortable, when you think you got everything in and everybody is on board and you know how everybody moving, boom, somebody do something that's unexpected. That's how it go, you know. And like I say, man, Pac said it best, man. He said, you know, they want to see us all in jail rather than doing swell, where only few of us live to tell. And I never forget that line, because I live that life. Because it's not intended for you to come out when you go in. And the larger your sentence is, it's more like subliminal messages being sent through the system and through the powers that be that this is intended for him not to get out. When they give you life and they give you 40 years, 80 years, and 90 years, when they give you more time than life expectancy of a man is, that's a subliminal message being from the courts to the system saying, we don't never want to see him out, but this is just how we going to put it, just so the public can, you know. But that's a subliminal message. That's some unspoken language. That's some, you know, yeah, you know what it is. So it's not intended for you to come out. You know, only way you come out is by, the grace of God and by your will to live. You know, that's it. So we don't see, man. But anyway, that's my opinion on it. Y'all wanted to know, do I think Diddy will survive if he had to do time? I don't know. We gonna see. We gonna see. But I wish no man no ill will, and Diddy is included. I wish no man penitentiary, because I've been there, and I don't think it's fit for human beings. So that's my opinion. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Talk to me, I talk back. Peace and love, man. Please stay on this grind. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please, please, please be proactive. Be proactive. Because we on the road to 200K now. And ain't no need to hesitate. Ain't no need to slow up. Ain't no need to hit no speed bumps. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, man. Let's go. TBP Nation, stand up, man. Be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. And by all means, man, duck them hooks, man. You don't know when they coming, where they coming from. Just duck them. Be ready. Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. We out here. Bye.
The banking special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.